There's a reason some people, without changing jobs or neighborhoods or effort, suddenly begin to attract opportunities, wealth, and peace into their lives, effortlessly. And more often than not, it starts with something that seems too small to matter. But in Feng Shui, the smallest shift in energy can ripple out into your entire destiny. Today, we're not talking about a major renovation. We're not talking about a new mindset or some abstract principle. We're talking about one plant. Simple, sharp-leaved, often overlooked, the snake plant. You've probably seen it in offices, hallways, hotel lobbies. But what no one tells you is that when paired with the right person, someone born under the right zodiac sign, this plant becomes more than decoration. It becomes a magnet for wealth, a shield against negative energy, and a silent ally in your personal transformation. But here's what most people don't realize. This plant does not work the same way for everyone. For some, it sits dormant. For others, it misfires. But for 5 specific zodiac signs, the snake plant doesn't just survive, it activates. It syncs with your natural energy like a tuning fork, amplifying the parts of you that attract abundance, success, and aligned decisions. That's why what you'll hear today matters. Because if you're one of those 5 signs, the snake plant could be the one quiet key you've been missing. The question isn't whether plants can change your life. It's whether the energy around you is working with you or quietly working against you. In this video, we'll uncover why the snake plant is one of Feng Shui's most underestimated wealth symbols, which 5 zodiac signs are energetically built to unlock its full potential, and how just one change in placement could shift the energy in your home, your money flow, and your emotional stability, all without forcing anything. If you've ever felt like your efforts aren't matching your results, you're not alone. But energy has a structure, and today we'll rebuild it, starting with a single pot of green. Part 1, the snake plant's hidden power, more than just a house plant. You've probably seen the snake plant before, tall, upright, quietly standing in homes, offices, hotels, or meditation rooms. It doesn't call attention to itself, but somehow it's everywhere energy needs to stay clean, clear, and focused. In Feng Shui, this plant is far more than decoration. It's a symbol, a tool, a conductor of energy. And for those who understand how energy moves through space, the snake plant becomes what sets it apart is its form. While most plants spread, curl, or soften a space, the snake plant rises. Its leaves are stiff, sharp, and directed upward. This shape holds meaning. It represents determination, stability, and pursuit. But what makes this plant truly unique is its ability to interact with your personal energy field. It's not just about where you put it, it's who is around it. When matched with the right zodiac sign or placed in a space that needs momentum, the snake plant of its strength. Now here's where most people go wrong. They treat it like a visual piece, placing it randomly or neglecting its needs. But the snake plant's power doesn't lie in being seen. It lies in being plasnia. So don't be fooled by how simple it looks. This is not a passive house plant. It's a standing declaration, a living reminder to stay upright when the energy around you wavers. And if you've been feeling off, the snake plant doesn't speak, but it listens, it holds, it reflects, and when placed right, it rises and takes you with it. Part 2, 5 most beautiful zodiac signs to grow snake plants. Zodiac number 1. Shun, if you were born in the year of the dragon, you already know what it feels like to carry immense power. You were born under one of the most commanding signs in the zodiac, an energy field that naturally attracts leadership, recognition, and the desire to rise higher than others ever dare. But the very same fire that propels you forward can also become the weight that holds you down. In Feng Shui, dragon-born individuals are often described as vessels of strong, untamed yang energy, forceful, visionary, magnetic. And while that energy gives you an edge in ambition and influence, it comes with a hidden cost: burnout, stubbornness, emotional volatility, and a tendency to push too hard when life is already trying to flow. The truth is, dragons don't usually fail because they lack drive. They miss their mark because their energy burns too hot for too long without balance. They try to lead every situation instead of aligning with the situation. They make decisions fast, but forget to feel what's actually in motion beneath the surface. That's where the snake plant steps in, not to cool you down, but to anchor your flame. In Feng Shui, the snake plant is known for its bold, upright structure. Tall leaves that resemble blades or swords, standing in firm silence. It doesn't ask for attention, but it commands respect. And for dragons, who often live under pressure to perform, prove, and push, this plant becomes more than an ornament. It becomes an energetic advisor, a quiet force that helps redirect your power instead of depleting it. Think of it like this: while you're facing the world, the snake plant is standing behind you, not in front of you, steady, solid, and fully aligned with your forward motion. It doesn't restrain your strength, it refines it. It helps you pause without feeling weak. It creates space for clarity before movement. And that small shift from reactive to responsive can make the difference between a career that bursts and collapses and one that expands with grace. Many dragon-born people struggle with isolation, and it's not always because others are absent. It's because your energy can feel too big to approach. You might not even notice how often you reject help, dismiss suggestions, or make every decision alone, not out of pride, but out of habit. But the problem is, wealth isn't just a solo journey. True prosperity flows through relationships, timing, and trust. And when your home reflects only strength with no softness, it tells the universe that you don't need support. The snake plant balances that message. Its shape still mirrors your authority, but its energy radiates calm intelligence, patience, and protective strength. Placing it in a bright entryway, next to a large window, or in a space where sunlight pours in, is the best pairing for dragon energy. These spaces act like energy gateways, bringing in opportunity, momentum, and social visibility. And when the plant thrives there, it reflects your own clarity of direction. What many dragons don't realize is that over-controlling an outcome often blocks the very abundance they're trying to reach. Whether it's micromanaging a team, forcing a project to move faster than it should, or dismissing feedback that could open new doors, the underlying message is the same. I don't trust the process. I have to do it all. But in Feng Shui, trust is the seed of flow, and flow is the river that carries wealth. When a dragon learns to temper power with presence, when you start leading not just with speed but with wisdom, your energy stops scattering and begins gathering. That's what the snake plant symbolizes for you, Bo. A reminder that real growth isn't just vertical, it's internal. That the sharpest edge is not aggression, but discernment. Let the plant mirror your own strength, but let it also soften the spaces where pressure has become habit. Allow it to mark a new rhythm in your home, one where you don't just pursue success, you attract it, not through force, but through alignment. This is your turning point. Not because you lack power, but because you finally learned how to hold it. Zodiac number 2, Rabbit. If you were born in the year of the rabbit, you carry a type of intelligence that most people overlook. It's not loud, it doesn't announce itself in the room, but it feels everything. Rabbits absorb details most others miss: the tone of someone's voice, the shift in atmosphere, the mood behind the words. That emotional sensitivity is your strength. It allows you to move gracefully through life, to connect, to intuit, to sense the invisible currents in a conversation, in a space, in a decision. But without energetic boundaries, that same gift becomes your greatest drain. In Feng Shui, people born under the rabbit sign are associated with softness, gentleness, and a refined inner rhythm. But that soft rhythm is constantly disrupted if you live in an environment that doesn't filter the energy coming towards you. And this is exactly why the snake plant becomes more than a plant in your space. It becomes a quiet line of protection. Rabbit energy is deeply receptive. It picks up on people's struggles, carries tension that it isn't yours, and sometimes agrees to things just to keep harmony. Over time, that builds up a subtle fog. Mental fatigue, self-doubt, decision paralysis. You start feeling like something is off, even when everything seems fine. That's not imagination. That's absorption. And in Feng Shui, when the body holds too much external energy, it blocks your own intuition. That's when ideas stall, clarity fades, and you second-guess the very instincts that once felt natural. This is why placement matters. For rabbit-born individuals, the snake plant should never sit in a public or chaotic space. It needs to be near your bed, your reading nook, your sketch table, or wherever your internal world begins to recover. Because in those spaces, the plant doesn't just filter the air, it filters the noise of everyone else's emotions so you can finally hear your own. The snake plant, with its tall, quiet presence, creates a type of energetic fence, not a wall to shut people out, but a membrane that keeps what's yours inside and what's not out. In homes where rabbit energy is left unprotected, you'll often see unfinished projects, cluttered desks, or a constant sense that something needs to be done, but no motivation to do it. That's not laziness. That's what happens when your inner space is overloaded by everyone else's problems. The snake plant, placed properly, helps resolve that. Its form reminds you to stand tall in your own emotions. Its golden lining reinforces your worth. And its calm, upright posture mirrors the posture you need to return to when the world gets too loud. Rabbit energy doesn't thrive in force. It thrives in beauty, flow, stillness, and inspiration. But inspiration is impossible when the emotional field is clouded. That's why this pairing is so important. The snake plant doesn't demand anything from you. It simply holds space. It holds your clarity until you're ready to reclaim it. And once that fog lifts, your natural rhythm returns. You begin creating again, speaking up again, trusting your own voice again. And most importantly, you stop apologizing for needing peace. This is not about fixing yourself. It's about shielding your sensitivity long enough to remember it's not a flaw. It's a power that needs structure. The snake plant offers that structure in silence. And that silence becomes the space where your truest thoughts, ideas, and visions come back to life. Place it where you retreat, not where you perform. Because it's in your quiet that everything real begins. Zodiac number 3, Rooster. If you were born in the year of the rooster, chances are you pride yourself on doing things the right way. You plan, you prepare, you watch the details everyone else skips. Roosters are known in Feng Shui for their precision, their ability to bring order where there's chaos, and their instinct for building something that lasts. But here's the truth very few roosters stop to consider. What if your best habits, the ones you've trusted your whole life, are also the ones quietly holding you back? Roosters tend to live in structure. Budgets are tracked, schedules are clear, bills are paid on time. But wealth doesn't just follow structure, it follows energy flow. And that's where most roosters unknowingly fall out of alignment. Because when your life is run entirely by logic, you leave no space for intuition. you miss the subtle cues, the energy leaks, the opportunities that don't arrive with a checklist but slip in through timing, resonance, or a chance meeting you weren't prepared to feel. This is where the snake plant becomes essential. Not because it brings more order, but because it teaches balance. In Feng Shui, the snake plant is known for protecting energy fields, especially in areas tied to money, decision-making, and daily routines. For roosters, who often think they've already optimized everything, this plant reveals the gaps, the places where control has become rigidity, where saving becomes hoarding, where predictability becomes stagnation. By placing the plant near your home office, beside financial documents, or at the front entrance of your home, you're not just adding greenery, you're opening a doorway for flow to return. Roosters often wonder why, despite their careful management, their financial growth feels slow or stuck. The answer usually isn't in the numbers. It's in the energy trapped beneath those numbers. Wealth doesn't move through overprotection. It moves through circulation. And circulation requires a soft, receptive channel, not just a guarded one. The snake plant, with its upward structure and golden lining, acts like a signal to your energetic field. Allow movement, but stay grounded. Allow inspiration, but remain focused. This small adjustment, a single plant in the right place, can help break the cycle of hidden financial drain. For example, many roosters unknowingly lose money through repeated small expenses, overlooked opportunities, or low-return investments that feel safe, but safety without flow is just slow loss. The snake plant helps recalibrate your energy toward wise risk. It doesn't make you impulsive. It simply clears enough energetic space for a more holistic view, so your logic can work in harmony with intuition. And here's what happens when that harmony returns. Roosters become magnetic in a different way. You begin to notice trends before they form. You take chances with timing, not desperation. You stop holding on to old methods and start making aligned adjustments, not just in money, but in relationships, in self-worth, in the way your space speaks back to you. This is not about changing your personality. Rooster energy is powerful when it's balanced. You're here to refine systems, to lead with clarity, to bring excellence to everything you touch. But even excellence needs oxygen, and the snake plant gives you just that, a breath of balance, a reminder that good planning includes space to feel. So place it not just where you calculate, but where you choose. That's the difference between holding on to what you have and inviting in more than you ever imagined. Zodiac number 4, Snake. If you were born in the year of the snake, you carry a depth of wisdom that doesn't need to speak loudly to be powerful. Your strength is subtle, internal, and strategic. You see the patterns before others even recognize the pieces. You sense undercurrents in conversations, timing in decisions, and motivations in silence. In Feng Shui, this yin-based intelligence is rare, but it also comes with a hidden cost. Because when your life is led entirely by reflection, by analysis, by waiting for the right moment, movement can stall. And slowly the brilliance of your mind begins to work against you. Not because it's wrong, but because it never gets to breathe. Snake energy is deeply attuned, often several steps ahead. But that very foresight can create a loop, a mental holding pattern where ideas are perfect but untouched. Decisions are weighed but never made. Opportunities are seen but quietly passed by. And over time, that creates stagnation. Financial momentum fades. Creative sparks flicker. Life begins to feel like a hallway with no open doors. That's when your home needs to do what your mind can't: break the cycle. This is where the snake plant becomes more than decor. For someone born under the snake sign, it becomes ignition. In Feng Shui, the snake plant is considered a yang-inclined form that pierces through slow or stuck energy. Its shape isn't just vertical, it's assertive. Its presence doesn't just sit in the room, it clears a path. When placed at the center of the home, this plant activates a cross-current of movement. It takes the ideas turning endlessly in your mind and stirs them into action, not by force, but by frequency. Its upright posture reminds your energy to rise. Its golden edges mirror the insight you already hold, but have yet to express. And its silent structure gives form to the clarity you have been circling around, waiting to ground. People born in the year of the snake often carry invisible pressure to get it right, to stay composed, to avoid unnecessary mistakes. But perfection is a prison if it never allows risk. And the truth is, most stuck snake individuals aren't confused. They're cautious. They're holding so tightly to wisdom that it never gets a chance to be tested in the world. The snake plant gives you permission to move anyway. It helps you shift from internal planning to external creation. And it does so in a way that still honors your nature, not with cake, but with precision. You might notice the change in small ways at first. A decision that felt heavy now feels simple. A task you've been avoiding suddenly flows. A conversation you've postponed finally opens. That's the plant's energetic influence, working not on your thoughts, but through your space. It begins to rewrite the atmosphere of your home, releasing what's been stuck and softly encouraging you to trust momentum again. When placed in the heart of your home, the literal center, the snake plant becomes a stabilizing axis between thought and action. This is crucial for you because your energy doesn't need to be louder, it needs to be freer. You don't need more knowledge, you need a system that invites movement, even before you feel completely ready. This is the remedy for your particular stagnation. A grounded object in a central place, reminding you not just who you are, but where your energy is meant to go. In Feng Shui, we don't just align furniture, we align fate. And for snake-born individuals, fate begins to shift the moment your surroundings stop mirroring your doubts and start reflecting your clarity. The snake plant is that reflection, firm, bright-edged, unapologetically rising. Let it rise with you. Let it stand where your ideas have waited. And let it be the quiet force that helps your wisdom take form, not someday, but now. Zodiac number 5, Dog. Dog, if you were born in the year of the dog, your greatest strength has always been your integrity. Loyalty, honesty, and a sense of duty run through everything you do, whether in relationships, business, or personal choices. People trust you because you lead with your heart. You show up, you care. But in Feng Shui, even noble energy must be protected. And for those born under the dog sign, that same loyalty that makes you trustworthy also makes you vulnerable. Because when your heart moves faster than your discernment, the risks aren't just emotional, they're financial. Dog-born individuals often trust first and ask questions later. You assume others operate with the same sincerity you do. You give second chances. You believe in promises. But that kind of open-heartedness, while beautiful, invites a quiet danger, manipulation, exploitation, broken partnerships, and financial loss that doesn't happen all at once, but in subtle, compounding ways. Over time, it's not just your money that takes the hit, it's your confidence. You begin to question your instincts, your ability to choose wisely, your sense of direction. That's where energy protection becomes more than a concept. It becomes a necessity. The snake plant, in this context, becomes your silent shield. In Feng Shui, it's not just a purifier of air, it's a stabilizer of energy around decision-making. For dog signs, whose emotions often enter the room before their logic does, this plant acts like an energetic filter. It doesn't harden you, It clarifies you. When placed near areas tied to action, your computer, your contract drawer, your phone, your workspace, it helps intercept the rush of reactive choices and sharpens your ability to detect misalignment. You start to feel when something's off, even before the facts show up. That intuitive delay is what protects your fortune. The dog sign often experiences loss not through poor effort, but misplaced trust. You invest time and money into partnerships that feel good, but aren't grounded. You support others at your own expense. You sacrifice what's stable for what feels loyal. But energy has to be reciprocal to be sustainable. And the snake plant reminds you of that. It teaches you to pause, to observe, to sense the energy behind the words before you agree, sign, give, or commit. It helps you separate emotional connection from practical alignment. Placed intentionally, this plant doesn't just sit quietly. It works constantly. It stands like a radar, monitoring the energy around your workspace and shielding your intentions from being clouded by charm, flattery, or emotional urgency. And the more often you sit beside it, the more you'll notice that your clarity returns. The regret begins to fade. The decisions become cleaner. You stop over-explaining, over-giving, over-compromising. You begin choosing partnerships, plans, and people that actually honor your integrity instead of draining it. This is why the placement is non-negotiable. The snake plant must live near the center of decision flow, where emails are written, contracts reviewed, negotiations made. Because this is where your energy is most at risk, and this is where a little protection goes the longest way. For dog-born individuals, this plant is not a nice-to-have. It's a remedy, a realignment tool, a quiet partner that doesn't just protect your space, but helps you preserve what you've worked so hard to build. When your energy is protected, your loyalty becomes a gift again, not a liability. And your fortune, instead of slipping through the cracks of misplaced faith, begins to build where it belongs, with you. Final, you're not just decorating, you're aligning. If there's a part of your home that leaves you restless, uncertain, or inexplicably drained, it's not just a design flaw, it's energy misaligned. And for millions of people, especially those born under the signs of dragon, rabbit, rooster, snake, or dog, the shift you're seeking isn't as far off as it seems. It's not a complete renovation, a new job, or some spiritual overhaul. It's the presence of a single object placed with clarity and respect. The snake plant may seem small, but for these 5 signs, it acts as a quiet ally, a mirror for strength, a filter for confusion, and a silent architect of prosperity. Throughout this video, we explored how each of these zodiac signs carries a unique energetic blueprint. Dragons burn bright, but often burn alone. Rabbits feel deeply, but rarely know how to shield that sensitivity. Roosters manage every detail, yet quietly repel flow. Snakes hold wisdom, but freeze in endless thought. And dogs give everything, often to those who take more than they return. These aren't personal failures. They're patterns, deep, collective ones. The kind we repeat without seeing, the kind that drain us slowly, the kind that make us feel stuck, even when we're doing everything right. And this is where the mistake happens. People assume they need to change who they are to move forward. They think they must become louder, tougher, less emotional, more calculating. But Feng Shui doesn't ask you to become someone else. It asks you to support who you already are. And the snake plant, when aligned with your natural energy, does exactly that. It doesn't demand that you transform. It simply clears the noise so your real self can function at full capacity. What most people get wrong isn't that they don't want harmony. It's that they fill their homes with objects that cancel each other out. They place strong yang items in already tense rooms, They tuck meaningful items into corners that suffocate their power. They water plants that aren't meant for their energy and wonder why their goals feel foggy or delayed. They decorate, but they don't align. And that's the root of stagnant space, stagnant wealth, and stagnant self-belief. The snake plant reminds us that energy doesn't lie. It either flows or it backs up. It either amplifies or it blocks. And if you've been feeling like your home is beautiful but heavy, calm but dull, organized but oddly unmotivating, then the answer isn't to do more. It's to realign what's already there. So ask yourself, what part of your home feels unclear? What corner drains your focus? What space in your life needs not more things, but more clarity? Maybe that's where your snake plant belongs. Not as a trend, not as decor, but as a signal to your space and to yourself that you're ready for movement again. Because in Feng Shui, fortune rarely arrives with a bang. It shows up in the subtle adjustments, the quiet placement, the gentle shift that suddenly makes everything feel right. You're not just decorating, you're deciding the direction of your energy. And when your space supports your nature, not fights it, life opens. Fortune flows. And that lingering feeling you've had, that something needs to shift, finally begins to dissolve. So the question is no longer if this plant matters. It's where in your home you're ready to invite its quiet power.